Good afternoon. It is a minute or so before 4 o'clock. Let me go ahead and see if I can find myself on my Facebook page. My name is Jenny Fetz, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of East Contra Costa County in California. So I'm about, what would I say? I think I'm about an hour and a half east of San Francisco and Oakland. Depending on where and depending on the traffic. So welcome to Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. My friend Tammy, my partner in crime, was on earlier today. If you didn't get a chance to see her, excuse me, I will have a link to her her blog or her YouTube playlist. I can't remember which one. Hello, my friend Tammy. I was just telling everybody that if they didn't catch your video this morning, that they can find a link on my blog to your video. So welcome. I'm trying to think. It's been a long couple of days. And so I'm not getting a lot of sleep, and I'm doing a lot of things at work. And so if words don't come to me, I apologize in advance. So let's go ahead and get started. Today is Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny, and we have decided to we have found that we love the Mojo Monday or Mojo sketches. So we're going to be doing one of those, but I'm going to be using, I think, what is my absolute favorite new suite that Stampin' Up! Has. And what drew me to it first was the blues, and I'll show you those in the DSP. But what I have had fun playing with is the whole suite, and it's the Kintsugi inspirations. And the suite has got a stamp set, a die set, an embossing folder, some fun embellishments, and 12 different pattern designs. And I just love them. And as you can see, there's some beautiful blues with the petal pink. Like I said, the blues are what drew me to them. But once I started playing with them, I'm having a lot. Hi, Patty, welcome. Yes, I love this suite too. This is such a fun suite. Just so you guys know, if you're wondering what Kintsugi means, there's a little, let's see, the suite is found on page 58 and 59. And then on page 60, it gives us a brief description of what Kintsugi is in our catalog. And it says, Kintsugi is a traditional Japanese technique for repairing broken pottery with gold lacquer. And that means the mended gold veins become a celebration of imperfection instead of hiding it. So in other words, let's take something that's broken and thinks that people have no value and make it very valuable by adding the gold to it. And I just love taking that philosophy of taking something that might be considered broken and invaluable and just finding the beauty and the value in it all over again. So, like I said, we've got this, the dies and the stamp sets we're going to be using. And there's some great, I'll show you the embossing folder in just a minute. These are some great embellishments. They're flower accents in like gold or brass, probably gold, since it talks about gold in the suite description. And let me show you the papers real quick before I get started. This is one page, and I just love it. And if you can't see it, it's Misty Moonlight is one of the main blues in this. And here is Misty Moonlight in, I almost want to say it reminds me of a cherry blossom pattern. Not sure if this is what cherry blossoms look like, but it sort of reminds me of it. But then it's overlaid with the same in gold. So it just sort of, it isn't a perfect overlay, but it highlights it. It's really pretty. And on the back side of this one is a great petal pink color of flowers and leaves. And then this one is a fun one. This one, the dies actually cut out perfectly. You have the vase die. Let me show you. Where did I put those dies? Yeah, my blue loving heart. Mine too, Tammy. Look at this. The dies cut this out perfectly. And what I learned when we watched a video and they were talking to the designer at Stampin' Up! That created this, they actually created the outline going over and bleeding over just a little bit so that when you cut this out, you wouldn't get the white side the white, because a lot of times when we die cut out of our designer series paper, it leaves a white rim or what looks like a white mat. But this is created, as you can see, all of the colors bleed past. And so that's what that is. And then we have this bowl. I love the Lost Lagoon. And then this floral, I love it. It cuts it out perfectly. So you can use the other side of this, but this is going to be my favorite side. I don't know, in all honesty, if I will be using the B side because it's beautiful. I think this is cloud cover, the new in color cloud cover, but it's pretty. It's got a nice pattern to it, but oh my goodness, I love these. So that's the paper. And then you have this beautiful basic beige and gold veining with leaves, which is so pretty. And then on the back side is this beautiful Misty Moonlight small pattern. And then this is our Misty Moonlight with the gold veining. I love it. They did a lot of gold veining in this with different colors. And on the back side is this really pretty petal pink, which I'm going to be using this this color pattern in my card today. And then I love the white with gold vein. And I'm going to be using this side as well. And this real fun Misty Moonlight, it almost looks like waves pattern. And I really like that one. And then another favorite, you know what, I'll save it. I'm going to save my one of my favorite patterns. And then this is a fun cloud cover pattern. It's sort of like a little mini leaf flower. And I just love the pattern there. And then this, I love this. Look at that. I love this patchwork looking. You've got some of what it is you've got, this is one of the pattern paper that we've got here. This is similar to the pattern paper, but instead of the gold outlining the Misty Moonlight, it's Misty Moonlight on Misty Moonlight. And then you've got this, which is one of our patterns on our designer story papers. This one and this one are not patterns, but they are beautiful on this. I just love, I could do a whole sheet of just this pattern, blue on blue. So anyway, there we go. You are going to use that wave one with the sailboat. Oh, that would really work well. Hey, Anne, welcome. Yes, I love that. I had that on my eye on that sailboat one as well, but I want to look and see what we're getting in our online exclusives for July before I decide to buy the sailboat. But anyway, let's go ahead and show you the sketch. All right, here's the sketch we're going to be doing. And it's a standard size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm adding to this a layer that goes right above the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to be actually 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And what I do is a lot of times when there's this much open space, I don't know, it's just me, but it looks sort of blah. I love to add a little dimension. That's where I'm going to be using the embossing folder, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. The embossing folder here is called Join Together 3D. And I'll show you what it looks like on the Misty Moonlight. And then I'm going to use this large 3 by 4 1/4 or 4 1/2 is going to be in the white and gold vein. And then the 2 1/2 by 3 1/2 is in that petal pink. And then this little square that we create the banner, I actually am going to show you, I'm not very good at cutting banners. I tried doing it a couple times. It didn't work. And so I am using my Stylus Shapes, and I'll show you which die I used for my Stylus Shapes. And then the 2-inch shape, instead of using an actual shape, what I'm going to do, what I did when I created the first card with this, is I actually did a double of the bowls, which is really cool. But I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to stamp the tall vase and then the little vase. So it's going to be similar to this, but it's going to be a little bit taller. But I'm looking forward to sharing with you how I made this. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So our card is, the card base is Misty Moonlight, and it's 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And of course, we're going to burnish this. So we'll do that. And then I went ahead, and I'll have to cut this down. This is, oh, there's something on my paper. This is the embossing folder. I told you words are not going to be easy for me today a little bit, friends, but I was awake at 3:30 this morning and couldn't go back to sleep. So I got up and got ready for work a little bit sooner than I normally do. But anyway, I love the pattern. And what's really fun is this is the side, the A side of what it looks like. But if you turn it over, I love the deboss side of this as well. It's really pretty. Matter of fact, you see more detail in some of these patterns on the deboss side than you do on the embossed side. It just has a totally different look. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that down. Where's my trimmer? I forgot to cut it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let's go ahead and do that. And see, 4 1/8. And then we're going to do 5 3/8. So right about there. All right, friends, and that should be that. Let's go ahead and attach this to, you know what, I'm going to put another light on. I didn't open my windows today, so I don't have my natural lights. So let's go ahead and put that light on there. Oh, much better. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to attach this. So we're going to glue this on. Oops. And put that right in the middle there. So it gives us a lot more depth. I like that. I don't know if you could notice it, but I really think the t-shirt I'm wearing is like a cloud cover. I don't know. If you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and if you're anything like me, once you see the new in colors or even some of the other colors, all of a sudden you see other things and you're like, oh, that looks like it could be blueberry bushel, or oh, that could be cloud cover, or that could be pretty and pink, or it can be petal pink. I see Stampin' Up! Colors everywhere. All right, so we're going to put this here. I'm going to put this one down as well. And I love this sketch. I want to try this sketch with some of my other items. I have Impressions in Bloom I want to try it with, and a couple other ones. And then we're going to take this, we're going to just sort of tick it off to the side, just sort of put it at an angle. So let's go ahead and put this one down. I can't wait to use this side, but I'll have to do a different color as the card base so it really pops. We're going to take this and put it at an angle like that. There we go. You do the same. Oh, you see same colors? You see colors? Yes. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our vase and our bowl. And I'm going to do them both in Misty Moonlight so that they pop off of this pretty, or the petal pink. All right. I actually did, and I don't have it. I left it in the other room. Otherwise, I'd get it for you. And you know what? I might go run and we'll get it real quick. I did a sampler. Like, I learned from my friend Patty how to do samplers with everything so I can see how everything stamps and how everything die cuts out and what can do what. And I did it in Secret Sea and absolutely fell in love with that new in color Secret Sea. It's a color I didn't think I'd like, but I love it. But there's our Misty Moonlight, and we're gonna go ahead. Oh, you know what we're going to do? No, we're gonna set this aside so I don't get myself with it. All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna die cut these off to the side over here. Give me a moment, and we'll get these cut, and then we'll apply them to our thing. Oh, I need the dies. All right, we're gonna attach this die here. Where's my flags? There they are. Let's see, Patty said, when Jason was little, he asked me if he should wear his Night of Navy sweatpants. Oh, that is adorable. That is absolutely adorable. My kids always referred to some of the teals as, you know, oh, it's Sharks color because we're San Jose Sharks fans. So I would say, like, you know, not balmy blue, but I think it was like our old Bermuda Bay would have been closer to like our San Jose Sharks colors, a real teal. So anyway, let's go ahead and cut these. And give me just a moment. All right. So you know what? I will show you guys next week the sampler because believe it or not, I love this suite so much that next week for, oh, that didn't line up very well. I'm going to you know what? I'm going to see if I can stamp. Let's see if we can save this. It didn't line up. If you notice, even though it's not showing it on the paper, it didn't line up real well, but I'm going to see if I can do this because this is a photopolymer set. If I stand up, I might be able to stamp on the back side of the die cut so that you can see it rather than stamping it and re-cutting. Let's see what happens. Almost. I think I'm gonna stamp this one again. I'm not happy with it. So here we go. Let's get another. I tried using the second side because we know that there's always two sides to paper, but we're gonna try this again. Jim compares his Legos to Stampin' Up color now. I don't know if my husband would ever get around to doing that. He doesn't notice the difference. And I think one of the reasons he doesn't know the difference is because I don't really talk about it much because I know he'd look at me and go, "Are you crazy?" He just isn't into colors and stuff all the time. Let's see. I want to get this. All right. Hopefully that is set up. So let's try this again. All right. Let's see. But, oh, here we go. Oh, sorry, folks. Didn't mean to stop talking, but I'm so tired that I can't multitask very well. Oh, much better. I think I might trim that top, though, just a wee bit. So let's get out our paper snips, and we'll go ahead and trim this just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to put that on, and we're going to put this on. We're going to put the large vase here first. You know what would be? I like that. All right, that looks like it's going to be good. So let's go ahead and put the large vase on first. I wonder, no, it wouldn't tie in. I was thinking maybe if I used back here instead of the white, if I used something like with the Lost Lagoon or Cloud Cover, I could do two different colors of vases, though, Misty Moonlight and then the other color, just so that we had a contrast there. All right, we're going to use our foam adhesive sheet. All right, put that right there. All right, we're going to put this right here. And then let's go ahead and stamp the tip I have for you for the this piece here, which was on the side, this piece here. If you're not comfortable cutting banners or flagging them like that, like I am, I'm not 100% comfortable. If I have the opportunity, I will use a die. And that's exactly what I did with this one. What I did is I grabbed my stylus shape and I used my short, I want to say my short fat one, and I cut it out and then I just cut it in half. So this is 1 inch high, but it might be a little bit longer than the 1 inch that it talked about in there. Actually, no, it's 1 inch by, actually it's a little less. It's 7/8 of an inch high and it's 1 inch wide. And we're going to go ahead and put that right there. But before we put that down, we've got our 1/2 inch by 3 inch piece of paper, and we're going to go ahead and put that right about there. But before we do that, I have to banner this one. Actually, I think I'm going to make it, let's see, before we do anything, let's put this on here. And let's make it, I think I want to make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to cut, I think that's about 1/2 inch off. And it doesn't matter if that one's not straight because it's going to be hiding underneath the flag here. I like that a lot better. And I'm going to flag this. I'm going to just do it ever so carefully. And then we'll see what happens. I've heard that what you do is you cut straight in and then you cut at an angle. Oh, see, that one turned out okay. Not bad, Miss Jenny, not bad. All right, let's go ahead and put our sentiment on here, and it's from the Kintsugi, and it says, "I'm here for you." And we're going to use that in Misty Moonlight as well. Oops. All right. Do that, and we're going to put it right on the edge. All right. Now I'm going to attach this down here. Actually, is that crooked? Does that look crooked? No, I guess it's, yeah, that's crooked. All right, let's try that again. All right. I'm going to stand up and look down this time so that I can get it straight. All right. There we go. Well, that still looks crooked. Maybe it's, you know what? It's the banner. It's the way it's cut. So we'll just go with it that way. All right. We're going to put that there. We're going to put that there. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive here. And then we'll attach it to the back side of our flag or banner so that it's straight. And it's sitting right about where we want, right like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put glue or adhesive on here. And we'll put this down right here. All right. I'm trying to remember on the original one if I popped that up. Where's my original card? I don't know where I did with my original card. I'm going to have to find it. That's weird. All right. I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right. We'll do that. And now we're going to go ahead and put on. All right, folks. I kid you not. I think there's a little stamp gremlin or something around here. Oh, there they are. Couldn't find my flower accents first. All right. And now we're going to put our 3 circles or 3 embellishments right here on the flag. So let's go ahead and take this. Oh, all right. I'm going to take one of the larger ones and I'm going to place it right up here. And then I'm going to take 2 smaller ones, one right there and one right there. There we go. Very pretty. And now we're going to go, oh, there's my other card. I found it. It was sitting right here next to me. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Thank goodness it's not a snake because I don't like snakes. All right, let's go ahead and do the inside of our card. And I've shared this tip with you guys in the past. I like to embellish it. I can either put, you know what? We can put the paper in here. I'm going to ask I'm going to ask you for your ideas. Give me your vote. We can put our paper so it looks like this with the petal pink, or I can use this beautiful like corner flower, which is almost the same pattern here, and I can put it on each of the corners. So it would sit sort of like that. And I can do it either Misty Moonlight. Oh, thank you, Anna. I'm glad you think it's pretty. Misty Moonlight, or we can try Petal Pink. You know what? Let's try Petal Pink first. And if we don't like it, we can always turn it over and go with Misty Moonlight. So let me get another stamp block. All right, there we go. And I haven't used this stamp yet, so let me go ahead and prime it. And let me show you how we prime, or how I prime my stamps. If I can find my first mark, there it is. I can't wait. Once I'm no longer working full time, I'll be able to clean up after myself because I won't be so exhausted when I go back to, when I get finished creating. Right now, I'm just exhausted. All right, I stamped my photopolymer. It's the way I prime and get my stamps ready to accept ink. All right, and to stamp clearly. So we're gonna try the petal pink. Ooh, I like that. What do you guys think? I think the petal pink is gonna look really pretty. So let's go ahead and do it on the corners here. I think I like this better than I like the, do that. I like that. That frames it just right. So let's go ahead and close this up. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. Just a little bit, just a dot, not a lot, as I would tell kindergartners and first graders. That's how I taught my kids in my classes. All right, that's how I remind myself not to put too much on there. All right, there's the inside of our card. So there is our Mojo sketch using the Kintsugi suite. All right. And Misty Moonlight. Let me know which one. I'm curious to know which one you like. Do you like the one with the tall vase or the one with the two small bowls? I would love to know which one you like best. If you want, put it in the comments. And if you're watching a replay, go ahead and put in the comments. I would love to know which one. So let's go ahead and move this aside. I will have all of this information. I'm getting ready to sneeze. Hold on one moment, folks. All right, maybe it went away. I am going to have all this information on my blog. You like the tall vase. Patty likes the tall vase. Thank you, Tammy. I'm glad you love this. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. I totally lost a blank. Oh, all my measurements and everything will be on my blog tomorrow. And you can find it at www.Stampin with Jenn, 2 N's in Stampin, 2 N's in Jenn. Deb, welcome, Deb. You like the tall vase too. Welcome. You can find all this information here. I will have everything here, including the video will be posted in case you want to watch it again. And there will also be a link to Tammy's video. I saw her, pictures of what she did. I haven't had a chance to watch the video yet because my live goes on about an hour after I get home from work. So I'm going to go back and watch it. But it looks like she did some beautiful work showcasing all 5 of our new in colors. So when you get a chance, go check out her video. In the meantime, next week, Tammy and I will be doing fun folds or 3D projects to share with you next week. I look forward to it. You might see a repeat of the Kintsugi because I just love this set. We'll see. I have an idea, but we'll see. I might even do it with my Impressions of Bloom, which is a fun set as well. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Have a great week. And I look forward to see you next week on my summer break. Woohoo! And I say have a great weekend. Oh, and you love them both. The 2 bowls make me think of tea with a friend. Oh, yes. Yes. Tea with a friend. That sounds like a wonderful experience. Yeah, I like that. Though, you know what? That is a teacup, isn't it? It could be a bowl or a teacup, couldn't it? A Japanese teacup. I love it. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a great week, and we will see you next week. And just, I don't know, stay cool, my friends, and have a good week. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.